Fine.
We can do hard things.
Yeah.
This isn't even a hard thing. We're just doing our thing.
It's not. This is fun.
Listening to great music together. What more could you ask for, right?
Right. Did I tell you I didn't get my Coke? I normally get a Coke.
Oh, no.
But it's all water.
That's why you're so low energy. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm doing so good.
No, you're doing great. It was a joke. It's a joke, people. If this gets put in a blooper, don't drag me. I'm just kidding.
I have so much energy.
Want to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have all the energy. So
That's true. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
With super energy. All right.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, man.
Just kidding.
Overcompensating.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nathan on Shuffle and to our latest episode of Prog Song Sunday. I've got Jana with me.
Hello.
And this is the show where we listen to a prog song and discuss it. It's a first listen for Jana.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the more established prog fan if you've been watching the channel, so I'm pretty familiar with all these selections, and so it's just a chance to introduce my wife to a lot of great prog music and see her thoughts.
Let's do it. Let's shuffle.
Let's shuffle into the song of the day.
We don't know what we're going to listen to.
Nope,
so
it could be anything. We'll see what we get.
Anything that's less than 15 minutes.
Okay. Well, cross your fingers. Oh, Marillion.
Marillion. We just saw them.
We just saw them live, so how fitting, right?
That's fun.
Okay.
Now I have a thought,
You have a thought. That's good.
Only one at a time.
Only one. Don't overwhelm yourself.
I know who they are in my mind.
Right.
Now. Before they were just this nebulous Marillion blob, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't know who they were. But now I've seen them in concert. I know who they are. And it's the guy that looks like that one actor. I haven't been able to place him yet. But
okay.
And then they had the guy in the skirt who is filling in for the guy who's normally in
right.
the other band.
Good job, hon. Yeah, that guy's name was Nick Beggs. He was filling in for Pete Trewavas, who wasn't able to make the cruise.
And the main singer was...
The main singer is Steve Hogarth.
Yeah, he was great. He was very theatrical.
Yes.
And I loved it.
Yep, for sure. Yeah. And this is interesting...
See? One thought. I can't think of names.
That's fair. No, I'm here to try to fill in the gaps. I don't always do a great job, but...
All right, what are we listening to?
This is interesting because this is kind of the finale to
3 songs?
The album Brave by Marillion, which is a concept record. So this is kind of taking the big finale out of this big concept record.
Is it concepts where it recaps everything else so I could just get away with listening to the end?
Here's your quick recap in 30 seconds.
Neo-Prog.
Neo-Prog, yeah.
You've played it 8 times. It's only 6 minutes. This is quite exciting. The Great Escape, The Last of You, Falling from the Moon medley. 1998 something.
Remastered edition.
Remastered. When's it actually from?
Yeah. 94, I want to say. You really tested me. 94, yes.
Every time I test you always get it right. I don't know why you're so worried. I'm I don't know.
Yeah, so it might be weird out of context, lyrically, but...
That's fine.
It's a pretty big, important, piece of their catalog, I think.
I feel all prog is, out of context sometimes.
Yeah. We can't, I feel like it's too much to give you the full album experience, as we've talked about, so...
I can't do that.
The best I can do is kind of give you the most notable snippets from these different legendary albums.
The Cliff's Notes?
The Cliff's Note version, yeah. Maybe I should assemble together 30-second clips of each track from the album or something. Give you the quick version. All right, we'll see how this works, I
liked Marillion when I saw them on stage.
They're great. So
on a boat in the middle of the ocean.
There's a good chance you might enjoy this, so let's see.
Cool.
All right.
Heading for the great escape, heading for the right, heading for the permanent holiday, heading
Okay.
Is like the rowboat in the water at the end, is that like a throwback to something else in the album? Or was it in this song and I just missed it?
No, I don't know. I know that there's, a lot of it takes place like on a bridge over water. So,
okay.
And I think the story revolves around like a woman who's like at a crossroads in her life, like had a difficult life and is contemplating like suicide, I want to say, and jumping off of the bridge. So,
oh, don't do
it. So,
I thought that was very pleasant to listen to.
Yeah.
It was just that's kind of what I remember of seeing them on the cruise, is that like their whole set was just like solid, bouncing along to it, like just very pleasant sounding. Right. I thought it was really, really nice. I liked I just liked it. I liked all the different sounds in it.
That's fair.
Well, if I don't have a lot to say about
That's
it.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I thought it was really pleasant sounding, very calming.
Yeah.
And I liked the vocals in it. I thought that they were great, and the lyrics were great, and yeah.
Yeah. As I've mentioned a lot on the channel, Marillion's one of those bands that I struggled for quite a while to really get into. Like, they were one of the bands that I always wanted to get into because I knew they were one of the ones discussed as one of the better modern prog bands. And of course, my entry point to newer progressive rock was Transatlantic, which features a member of the band. So I thought I should like all the bands that Transatlantic came from, that all the members came from. But I've always felt that their stuff was hit and miss for me. Like, I just didn't connect with it quite as much because to me it didn't sound like the traditional progressive rock that I was looking for. But over time, especially lately over the past year or two, I've grown to appreciate it more and more for what it is. I had to put it out of my mind that this is like supposed to sound like traditional progressive rock and recognize that it's something new or something different, something more themselves.
Yeah, it's very different from like what I think of like progressive rock. It doesn't sound like progressive rock to me. Yeah. And even when we saw them live, they didn't sound like progressive rock to me. I mean, there were probably elements in it, but it just sounded a lot more relaxed. Yeah. And sometimes I think progressive rock can be like almost like a horse running away and you're trying to catch him.
Okay, and interesting.
And this one is like, you got control of the horse. And that's not a bad thing. Like, it's good, solid music.
Yeah, because I think the band Marillion, this iteration of Marillion, I should specify, because they have an 80s period helmed by a different singer, Fish, that does sound a lot more traditional progressive rock. Okay. But once Hogarth kind of took the reins as the frontman of the group, I feel like they've kind of gone away from that type of a sound. Before they sounded very much like Genesis and were very much in that mold. But I feel like over time they've kind of developed into their own sound that's separate from those other influences. And I think they're not very concerned with like, do we sound super proggy or not? They just make really good, melodic, interesting, good sounding music, And so that's my takeaway from this is like, doesn't really like make my prog senses tingle. That's a weird way to say it.
That's what they described in Spider-Man. Remember, do you have the tingle too?
Yeah.
So this is not tingling your prog tingle.
Right. It's not like supremely proggy to me, but it's really emotional. It's really well played. I love Rothery, his like guitar moments, his guitar soloing. Steve Hogarth has a really emotive, like expressive vocal that I really love. And I love this album in particular, Brave, because it tells such a interesting story and it's very heartfelt and emotional. Leaves you kind of thinking afterwards about what may or may not have happened. It kind of leaves it a little bit open-ended, and I appreciate that. I like the storytelling that they do. And that's a big thing about what they do, I think, is like the lyrical content is very important to them, and they're always telling really interesting stories, or, you know, incorporating really important messages in some of their more recent stuff, even like political messaging and things that is really important to them. So I really respect that, and I think they're a cool band for the way they put that stuff together and deliver with such emotion and power in their music.
It's great music.
Yeah.
Even if your tingle didn't tingle.
Yeah. I just, like I said, I had to get out of that mindset that Marillion's supposed to sound like, you know, 70s prog, like Yes and Genesis. And once I got out of that headspace and realized they're their own thing, they're doing their own thing that's separate from that, but still progressive in a sense, because they're, you know, exploring more complex emotions and, you know, exploring musical avenues that not a lot of modern bands do. You know, they're progressive in a little bit of a different way. And once I figured that out, I think it really opened up the doors to understanding them a lot better. So
awesome.
That's my Marillion takeaway.
Love it.
So
that's a great takeaway.
Cool to get this piece on the channel. I know probably going to get comments of like taking this out of context and, you know, like how can you understand this emotional impact of this piece without knowing the whole story of the full album? But
calm down, it'll be okay.
That's how the shuffle works. So it's just what happens. But I respect and appreciate everyone's opinion. So let us know how you feel about this track, about Marillion in general, about us and our process here on Prog Song Sunday. If you like this, be nice. Yeah, some people just don't care for us, and we don't need to.
That's all right.
Hear about that. Just move on.
A billion other videos on YouTube for you to watch.
Yeah, for sure. So,
all right.
Thank you guys for joining us once again. Subscribe to the channel if you do like us, and just keep enjoying the music out there. Bye, everybody.
Bye.